Hello, good day everyone. I'm back again. Bag is here to show you another tutorial on HTML, CSS, hypertext markup language, and cascading style sheet. So today we are going to be looking at responsive flexbox layout. Let's get started. I'll launch my Visual Studio Code. I'll go to my terminal and go to new terminal. Then I'll wait for it to respond. Let me expand. So it has responded. I cd into my desktop as usual, because that's where I want to save my work. Then I create a folder, mkdir, the name of the folder. I want to make my folder name to be flexbox layout of flexbox box underscore layout. So I cd into my flex, then I press tab to complete it for me. So I code dot into it to take me to the Visual Studio Code where the folder is located. So I wait for it to pop out and I expand. So in here I'm going to create an index.html. So in here you wait, so our index.html has been created for us. So I told you the first thing to do is to press your shift 1 to give you the exclamation mark, so that it will automatically give you the doc type, having the head, the body, and the HTML. So now let's enter. So as you can see, our Visual Studio Code is ready to. Let's start with the title. The name of our tutorial today will be responsive flex box layout, but let's use flex box layout. Flex box layout. So let's start. I'll go to my body with the HTML. So I'm going to create a div where I'll be having three more divs. So I put div.container, that is my class name, div.container. So inside this div.container I'm going to have three other divs. My first div, which will be named class box, so therefore I'll use div.box. Then I'll duplicate by pressing shift alt down arrow key three times. So in here I'll be having my box 1, so I'll be box 2, so I'll be box 3. So now what we are going to use mainly in this responsive layout is the CSS, because we are going to use the CSS to make it responsive. And from the name flexbox has to do with the words cascading style sheet, where we normally, anywhere you see flex, you know that we have to use a display flex in our CSS. So now let's go. Today we are going to be looking at the external CSS, because there are three types of CSS. We have the internal CSS. We are going to be looking at the internal CSS. There are three types of CSS. We have the internal CSS, the external CSS, and the inline CSS. The last time when I talked about navbar, I used the external CSS. So today I'm going to be using the internal CSS. So let's go into our head. Then in our head I'll create the style tag. So I have my open and close style tag. So in here I'm going to start styling my dot container, which we have the curly braces. So in here I'm going to first start by display what flex. We all know what flex will do. It will put all my box in the same container, right? So that I can be able to manipulate them. So the next thing I'll do is to justify content space around. So what will I do next again? So now what you'll be looking at is to flex wrap wrap. So this flex wrap will also help you to make the box responsive, so that they will work in accordance, they will be in line with each other. So now let's go to our Chrome and find out what our Chrome is telling us about flex wrap. They said the flex wrap property in CSS is used to control how flex items wrap in a container. Exactly, it's used to control how what flex item wrap in a container. It is a key part of flexbox layout and is used to create what responsive design. It's very important when creating a responsive design when using what flex. So now let's go back. You can see also here they said the CSS flex wrap property is used to specify whether flex items are forced into a single line or wrapped onto multiple lines. The flex wrap property enables the control direction in which line are stacked. It is used to designate a single line or multi-line format to flex items inside the flex box. So as you can see what the flexbox can do for us. So while we are doing this, let's save so that we can actually go and see the display of how the code we are running will be in our Chrome. So the first thing we will do is to go to our file to locate where we have saved our folder. We saved it in the desktop, so we'll go to the desktop and we'll look for the flexbox layout. Yes, this is it. So we open with Chrome, Google Chrome. So in here I refresh to see. Yes, as you can see, I already have my div, my first div, second div, and third div. So let me start again. Sorry, I'm supposed to have done this earlier. I'm supposed to have shown you from start. So let me just clean the CSS and show you how each is working. So let's save this and go back to our Chrome. So when you enter, you see they are all what in different line. They are all in different container. They are not yet in a being flexed. So we are going to make it align in the same container by giving it what a display what flex. So now let's save and see our results. Let's come here and refresh. So you can see they are now in the same container, which is aligned in an inline form. So now let's go back and continue. So the next thing we are going to do is to justify contents so that we give them space because they are too close to each other. So we give what space around, then we save and see the results. So you can see the space around has separated them from each other, but they are what all in the same container. We have 1, 2, and 3. So now let's go back and continue. So what is the next thing we need to do? The next thing we're going to do is to what align item center, which is very important also for a responsive website. Let's save as, and it will not have any effect, but it's very important for to align item center when you are dealing with what a flexbox, responsive flexbox layout. So what is the next thing we are going to do? The next thing we are going to do is going to be flex wrap wrap. Like you see, I already showed you what a flex wrap is. So the flex wrap will also what make everything to what align with each other so that they will be responsive when you move them. Maybe when you want to access them in different screen size, it will be what it will show based on the screen size you have accessed what the site with. So now let's go gap. Let's give it a gap of what 10 pixels. The space, let's just give it a gap of 10 pixels. Then we come here, then we do the dot box so that it will target each box, each div. So dot box, because the dot container is targeting everything at once. That is for general, is a general what class, while the boss is what is a common what class for each div 1, 2, and 3. So now the first thing we are going to do here is to give it a width of 100 pixels, a height of 100 pixels. Let's save it. You can see you will not see the effect now until you have the background color before you understand the width and height of 100 pixel. So let me give it a background color of what of light blue and save. So now let's go back to see what it will give us. As you can see, This is our width and height. Our one div 1, div 2 and div 3 are having width and height of what, 100 pixels, as you can see in the background showing like this. So this, what we are going to do is to make sure that these numbers, these texts are being aligned to the word center. So we go back here and we have what, our texts align center. Then we go back and check our results. So you can see they are already aligned what, at the center. So now when you go back, the next thing we are going to do is to make sure that those tests are being aligned to the word box. That is, we are going to give it a line height so that they will come down and be centered to the box. So we give it a line height of 100 pixels and go back. So when you enter, you see your results. You can see they are being what, aligned at the center of what, the box. So let's go. So we are going to give it a what, font weight of bold, so that our text will be bold. Let's go back and see. So as you can see, they are bold. So now we have what, a responsive flexbox layout. Let's see if it's actually going to be responsive. Control Shift I on your system and it will take you to your your console. So now you can just come over here and shift it till you can see these are different screen sizes. You can see it's responsive. You can see they are still showing what, whether you access this site in different screen size, it will still what, be, if it will still be responsive, it will still align with the screen of what, the gadget you're accessing it with. That's what we mean by responsiveness. So as you can see, they are being aligned, and so they are being responsive, whether they are being accessed by a very little phone. You can see they are still what, responsive. Thank you very much. This is the end of the today's tutorial on responsive flexbox. I hope you get to practice this after watching my tutorial. God bless you all and thank you. I think I need to sing a song for my students that are going to be watching my video. Let me go back to my Visual Studio Code. Flexbox layout. The first thing I do is to create a div class container. My div 1 and div 2, my div 3. I have box for each as a class, and I give an external style. My first style is dot container. I have display flex, justify content space around, align item center, flex wrap, gap 10 pixel, dot box width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel, background color light blue, text align center, line height 100 pixel, font weight bold. Don't mind me. Oh. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have understood this tutorial, and take care. Bye. See you some other time. Bye.